Oh my god, I'm a genius.
Doubt it.
That's fair. Just want to make sure it's actually streaming real quick. Pre-mute. It seems to be doing it. It's doing the thing. Oh man. I do need to fix this real quick. Okay. Not that. This. Close this tab now. Alright. Who remembers what's actually going on?
We're in a city full of illusions.
I'm getting a boss weapon.
Where are you getting that boss weapon?
Right down the road.
Right down the road?
Right down the road. Can't miss it.
I just want to get home so that we can all sit down for a nice bowl of honey pot stew.
What?
You heard me. Honey pot stew. North Honey Pot's got the best one, but don't tell the rest of them.
I prefer the honey pot stickers.
You would.
Honey pot.
Okay. Beep up. And then go.
I made a deal with the devil, and now I'm the fiend patron.
That is true.
It happened.
Did happen.
Yeah, should we be worried about that?
Feel like maybe we should?
I'm sure it's
Maybe.
fine.
It's probably fine.
I believe there was a decent amount of shopping that happened.
Probably.
Because you guys had split up to go all over town for shopping. And then I think once you guys got back together, does anybody remember what Dina had told you guys?
No.
No.
Not in the least.
That's okay. It's been a while, so I wanted to kind of check with you guys to see if anybody, remembered or took notes or whatever. But so you guys had gotten to town, and Dina had to go and touch base with the home office. And while she was there, she was able to find out that basically she let everybody know what was going on, and you guys were reassigned. You're supposed to be doing some reconnaissance, but before that, there's a diplomatic mission. She said that I don't remember how much she told you guys about it beforehand. Now that I'm thinking about it, but she'll have to go back into it anyway, I guess. Because I believe we left off, it was beyond midday as you guys meet back up with her and she tells you all this. She says, you'll all have to meet with the ruler of this city to parlay for access through their lands, as we are foreign entities.
Right. Okay.
We don't, we wouldn't want them to think of us as foreign infiltrators. We sort of are, but at least, allied foreign infiltrators. We don't want them to think we're infiltrating them.
Probably a good plan that we don't tick these people off.
I'm not really much one for diplomacy myself.
Should be easy enough task. The dignitaries here should already be expecting us as, what's the word? Foreign ambassadors.
If it's what we need to do.
So,
Was command satisfied with our performance?
I gave them a fairly thorough report. They seemed satisfied with the report I gave them. I did leave a few bits out, to be fair.
Such as?
Let's not. Let's just say that our real reasoning for this small detour is not necessary for the report.
Are we being punished?
I don't think so. I think this is opportunistic planning.
Okay, well, you gave them a very thorough report, and I don't mean to dog on us guys, really, I don't. But they couldn't have pieced together from the report that maybe there was someone better they could have sent than us for a diplomatic mission. We just tried to diplomatize a sentient nightmare spider.
That may be more diplomatic than the other teams.
Yeah, and that diplomacy with the Nightmare Spider kind of ended with us, killing it.
Doing our jobs.
Yeah. I mean, we got frustrated. No, wait, no, he lied to us. Never mind.
He straight up lied to us.
He was a giant spider.
Can't be trusted. That said, Dina, you can't really believe that this is a good idea. Right? I mean, you saw what happened last time.
Last time?
Yeah, like, not even a week ago, you ended up getting dragged around.
Oh. Well, that wasn't a diplomatic mission. I don't hold it against you for being inquisitive. my fate was unpleasant, but I imagine yours would have been worse had the portal not spit you out when it did.
Did we actually tell Dina about what was going on in there?
I don't think you guys have had a good chance to give her a real briefing.
No, we have not.
I mean, you guys traveled for a few days, so you probably could have.
Probably haven't sat down
Well-
and actually told her, though, like, the details.
Yeah.
You know, about that, actually, I have an order placed for a weapon around here, so if we could stay an extra day, it'd be great, and we could sit down and tell you about what happened in there. Might be good information for you to know. Maybe something good can come out of all this at least, right?
Might be good for all of us to decompress for a minute.
It was pretty wild.
Surely, we could stop by a small place and get some lunch first. You could tell me over lunch.
Sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like we've got a plan.
She kind of claps her hands together and looks about. Do you have anywhere in mind? This place is fairly well known for having a wide spread of food places to choose from.
Don't everyone jump up at once.
A place with fish.
I'm a fan of fish.
I could go for fish, honestly.
I was hoping for steak.
Fish steak. Nice big tuna. Big slab of tuna.
Oh,
I guess I can do that.
also, fuck you. That sounds really good.
Or maybe a good, like, chilaxian roll. That'd be the cherry on top.
You could start heading towards the dock area. I'm sure something near there will have something in our range. You guys kind of start heading southward, as the only real dock in this city that you've seen so far would be on the southern side. As I've mentioned before, this city is a tiered city, so you know it stacks up higher and higher as it goes towards the middle, and even though the coast has a river that kind of shoots up next to the town, you can't see a way that you'd have to either go all the way over the city or you just have to go around, and around just seems like the better way, right? So you guys get down there. There's quite a busy port. So the closer you get to it, the more hustle and bustle there is, and there are many, many, many places to eat. And around this time, places are really firing up. They're getting ready for the lunch rush. So the smells in this area are incredibly inviting. There's the smell of fresh baked bread and grilling meats. You can actually hear the sizzles of just like side street vendors, but you know that if you go down some of the larger roads, there's actual sit-in at like sit-down restaurants. So are you guys just looking for? Are you guys looking for a sit-down restaurant? Or are you looking for like a street vendor with fish? What'd you guys have in mind?
Give me a little sit down. A little classy.
Yeah, they'll sit down with like a nice, dark corner booth, right?
Okay.
We can inform Dina about the Feywilds.
Yep, sure. What all are you gonna tell her about? Or are you withholding anything? It's probably the better way to ask this.
Yeah, it's
Likely
just
gonna
like she's
withhold.
got to know about lake time.
Likely gonna hold the whole demon deal thing. Withhold that.
We already told her about that.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, it was never explicit that you guys told her anything.
Well, I will withhold that then. But yeah, for the rest of it, the Fae shit, yeah. Down to us getting kicked out because someone shouldn't be here.
So I'm not keen on lying to Dina.
You're not lying if you just don't
If
mention
she
it.
asks, she's being answered.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that though. So can we why do we want to keep it secret from Dina?
I mean, I don't care. It's just not my call to make.
No,
It's
you're
all
right.
our
Let's go.
calls to make.
I
We
mean,
did
it
that
does
together.
pertain to her just as much as it pertains to us.
It's how she's alive right now.
Yeah,
How do
I
we
can't.
keep something like that secret?
I can't think of a good reason not to tell her. So let's tell her.
And I'm not trying to be that guy, but Shiloh doesn't lie. And I actually like our job as cartographers and respect our, I think Dina's a terrific leader for us, if a bit unattached.
I think Dina's a lot more attached than she lets on, but if that is brought up, it's going to be a very rare occasion where Val shuts up, and she is going to just look like defeated during the entire process.
So
So,
someone,
like,
whoever's telling the story, I'm cool with like, yeah, we're gonna tell her this, but yeah, obviously for this, I need to know how you guys break the news verbally.
Chronologically.
Yeah, I mean, we could, this is how the Feywild went. Cool.
We're gonna skip. So basically, what you want us to do is skip over the Feywild part and get to the part where
If
we
you-
awkwardly tell her that someone sold their soul to save her
Listen.
from a curse.
If you want to start at the Feywild part, totally cool with it. But I don't know if I can let you skip. Also, this happened. You know?
Right.
also,
Well, it sounds like Shiloh would be the one to break the news, considering.
I'll do it. I have a charisma score of 8. I will spill the beans on everything.
Nihilus is willing to do it.
Okay. Shoot.
Hey, you want me to actually explain it?
Yeah. Explain what
Alright.
happened.
Nihilus will begin chronologically, informing that once we jumped in, we found ourselves at a funeral for a tree, where strangely the grass would part for us.
For you.
For me. Afterwards, after the tree had passed away, there was lake time, and we were suddenly within a lake.
She's scribbling in her her book. She's like actively taking notes. She's like lake time.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably step back a minute and mention that we all arrived at the same exact moment, despite going in at separate times.
Some sort of time dilation.
Exactly. Continuing on, we, after getting out of the lake, we encountered some kind of satyr. He gave us directions to find a settlement of stables, as he called them, which would refer to us. Those of this plane, I suppose. We left for that settlement, where we were promptly told to leave by a otherworldly being. Primarily, its voice said that the bringer of change was not welcome there, and we were viciously kicked out where we came across you, half dead. And we needed a way to save you before you died, because you were truly on the verge of death. And there was a means to do that presented to us.
Presented to you?
A devil was nearby, who had a scroll of wish. I gave him my soul in exchange for that wish, to save your life. I do not regret my decision.
She hasn't written anything since the mention of the devil. She kind of closes the book and puts it down. And it's hard to get like a good reading on this woman, mostly because she always wears this mask, and not even to like eat. You know, she usually picks up the mask a bit to get to her mouth, but never removes it. She says, I suppose I'm grateful, but that seems excessive.
You were truly on the verge of death. We had no idea if we could make it to any sort of medical facility in time to save you. We could have taken the chance, but we did not wish for you to die.
Being the curse was aggressive. And despite V's best efforts, we were lacking in the clerical arts.
This does change things. And she kind of reopens the book and scribbles for a moment. Says, most pertinently, when you are to meet the emissary of this land, I expect you to be on your best behavior, but Nihilus, you will have to take extra special care around her. She is sensitive to these things.
I will do the best that I can.
That in mind, I will tell you a bit about where you'll be going and what to what juxtaposition to inquire about, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page as far as what we're requesting. Now, we are not in a point of leverage in this deal. Ideally, they will just grant us passage. But you will be meeting the ruler of the city-state of West Crown, Lilith. She will be found at the top of the city. It's very hard to miss it. The tower is quite large, and it has a glowing beacon on the top of it. When you arrive, there will be some aides that will direct you where you need to go. You will simply need to provide some sort of identification, and she kind of points to her cartographer badge. These should suffice. Once you arrive, obviously show the correct pleasantries, be very polite, and let them know that we are simply seeking passage for a reconnaissance mission to a shared enemy. I don't know how much you all know about it, but if we are to succeed in this diplomatic mission, our next is a reconnaissance mission. Just some simple intel gathering, but we are to head to Agoria. Almost no one has actually laid eyes on the inner workings of Agorian's machinations in a long time. Not even the West Cronies. So it will be trepidatious if we are to get there. I will have to make some contacts in the meantime. Partially involving the situation for Nihilus here. But I do also have some other means to attend to. I trust you can all make this request smoothly. She kind of looks to the table.
Thumbs up.
Nihilus nods.
We'll carry it out.
Okay. We will meet back. I suppose we can meet back here. This is a nice little restaurant, so. And we'll also need to find lodging shortly after, and this being a tourist heavy area, should be fairly straightforward. In fact, I'll try to land us some accommodations in the meantime if I have time for it after my meetings. She kind of stands up. She throws some gold on the table to cover the meals, and best be about it. And she kind of walks away.
Nihilus will just kind of he'll shrug a little and say, "Okay. When we meet with her, just to re-go over what we need to tell her, we are seeking safe passage on the way to Agoria to deal with a shared enemy."
That sounds right.
Okay.
We just make sure we're clear with them that, like, we don't want to mess with West Crown at all. We're just passing through.
Who's the shared enemy? Remind me. That's in character.
Can I make a knowledge history check?
Sure. That seems relevant.
And before I do, may I ask for? It's kind of a long shot, but I'll ask for it. May I ask for advantage due to my Chilaxian flag?
I don't think the Chilaxian flag so much will do it, so I'm gonna have to say no there. But
That's okay.
it's not a terribly high DC anyway.
Okay. We'll see what happens. Oh, well, that's not happening.
Rip. Yeah, Gorian kind of slips, you know, it's like, you know you've heard it before, but you're not sure where. Didn't Nihilus? No.
That sucks. Val's usually been pretty good about history checks.
Isn't Shyla really good at history checks? Am I misremembering?
No, I'm good at I'm good at investigating, and I'm good at arcane.
Oh,
But
and
history
medicine.
is not my forte.
That's what I'm thinking
I'm just
I
a farmer
could-
boy.
I've read books.
about. Okay, sure. Let's see when Okay.
I'm a farmer boy that studied magic theory, and that's about it.
Yeah, Sophia, you would know that Agorian is the capital city of Cheliax, like Cheliax proper, and in fact is still the capital city of Cheliax. And while West Crown and Cheliax have been at war for a very long time, um, technically, Quarantine has been in a sort of cold war. It's not like a full-blown conflict, mostly due to just the geographical separation of the two places. It'd be too difficult to wage war at that distance.
So, this is what we are now? Soldiers?
It's kind of what we've always been.
No, we were cartographers. It's a different thing. We're not.
We were on call.
Is that really how everyone here sees it? That we signed up to fight a war?
We're not going to fight. We're just gathering information.
That's
The scouts
how this
fail.
starts, though.
Espionage.
That's how this starts, though. You don't think that every cartographer won't be called back and sent to fight on the front lines for this?
Why would they send us to the front lines? We're the scouts.
Why wouldn't they send the cartographers to the front lines? They're the best combat force they have.
That makes it reasonable for us to be at the front lines, doesn't it?
If we're the best that Quarantine has, then we're here to.
I'm not saying
As-
we
collectively
are,
as
but
cartographers.
all I'm saying is, yeah, right now it's just scouting, but guys, what are we actually mapping the region for?
Well, let's look at it the other way. What good is having a map if everyone's dead?
Okay, but she kind of shakes her head. What has Agorian done to us?
I think that's what we're trying to find out. Nobody's laid eyes on Agorian in a long time.
Really? Then why did Dina refer to them as a common enemy? If we haven't laid eyes on Agorian in that long and they haven't done anything to us, why are we just assuming that they're the bad guys?
Because we need to diplomatically get through Westcrown. And appealing to their sensibilities is the best way to do so.
Then isn't that just lying?
It's a tactical lie.
But it's still a lie. This isn't why I joined the cartographers.
You told us why you joined. You just wanted something to do.
She kind of shakes her head. That was... Yeah. I guess that was a lie. So, pot, meet the kettle, I guess.
So what is your reason for joining?
It's, look, it's... Okay, look, I guess I owe you this much. Look, I'm not really big on organization and, command and structure and all of that. Don't know if I've gotten that point across yet, but I don't really like the whole. She kind of like tries to make a hand motion symbolizing structure, I guess, but it's really not getting across. I would never have joined the cartographers under any normal circumstance. If I wanted to adventure, I would have just left. But about a year ago, she pulls out the letter that she got from supposedly her brother, places it on the table. I got this in the mail. Well, not really in the mail, but from a sailor from my brother who joined the cartographers a while back. No one has heard from him or seen him in a long time. This was the first information we got about him. I was hoping that if I joined, I could find out what happened to him or find him.
Maybe that could be why we're making a map.
That's why I wanted to make a map, but again, I thought we were supposed to be adventurers mapping the world, but instead we're now going off to fight a war? And that just makes me think, what did my brother get himself into?
We'll just have to continue to find out. I mean, I know that's not really the best way to put it, but if you want the answers, you can't just leave.
I'm not saying I'm going to leave, okay? I'm just saying that maybe we should start to question what we're doing here. Leslie, what was it that the letter said specifically?
Hold on. I can find it. Yeah, you really didn't write it down then?
I thought I did. I can't find it.
Hold on.
I mean, have you seen my notes? I fucking write everything down.
Well, that specifically, I'm like, why wouldn't you write that down?
I remember it was ominous. Like, really fucking ominous. Like, honestly, probably something Val should have brought up to the party a while ago. But, you know, she hates you.
Hmm. I don't know where I put it.
Do you not have it either?
Not on hand for sure.
Something about we are not prepared.
Did I put it in here, maybe?
About, Jeez, come on. I know I've got it somewhere in here. It is important. Like, you guys should actually know this.
Such an oof, man. I can't believe I can't find his notes.
I can't believe that I didn't write it down. Guess it never happened.
Guess it never happened. Damn.
He said
remember-
immediately after highlighting its importance.
Right?
Right?
Did I put it in Slack and then it turns out that it went by too quickly? Like, it doesn't go far enough back, maybe?
It's a good question. Oh god, we started playing this game when we still had Slack. I see people online in Slack for the first time ever.
Problem is, it would have been in our conversations, and I don't think it's in there. Because it only goes back to, like, April 15th.
I can go before that.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, shit.
back in
can
March
before that.
already.
Blah, blah, blah. A lot of Guilty Gear stuff.
There's the the capitalism copy pasta or green text. Lasso cat.
Lasso cat. Is Meowdy still in there?
Yeah, can we get some things?
Yeah. Meowdy.
Yeah, it's gotta be before that.
No, we cap out at March 10th.
Two pellet, blah blah blah.
Okay, I think I'm almost there.
Throw this shit into a notepad, cause like.
Okay, I found it. The letter reads, Val, I don't know how this will find you. Our unit has found the village. It's not what they think. There is a bigger threat.
What could it mean?
She shrugs and says, I don't know. Look, my brother's a lot of things. He's loud and obnoxious, and he likes to exaggerate things for the sake of telling a good story. But he's not a doomsayer.
This doesn't seem like a casual exaggeration.
Well,
And-
give me an intelligence check.
Is this about this not being in his handwriting?
No, you know it's not in his handwriting. And I'll say with
Okay.
advantage as well.
Advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Intelligence check. Here we go. Oof. This is gonna suck, guys.
Probably. I know Val's int isn't very high.
Nat 20.
Oh shit.
Kind of based.
I was going to ask if you could give us dexterity for mental gymnastics.
Val. When you're reading the text, you have like there's detective shows where like something stands out and then they have a bunch of flashes of like inspiration.
Yes.
Black and white, rain is in the background.
Yeah.
Or suddenly in a noir film.
Yeah.
There he was.
A Western sound.
My brother. At least the letter he wrote me.
When you're reading the letter, and it says, "Val, I don't know how this will find you." In your head, it sounds like a formal thing to say, right? But really, when you think about it, you think about the way that Trix speaks. When you say it in your head in his voice, it's Val. I don't know how this will find you. As in, he literally doesn't know how it's gonna get to you. On the way to the restaurant, you saw the post office. And one of the things the post office here advertises is long distance messaging.
They're not paper cranes, are they?
the you guys can practically see the synapses sparking as she like stops looking at the letter and looks around kind of
Infernal
frantically.
chains cranking
Oh.
in her head.
There was one more bit of information I forgot to point out because the nat 20 tilted me.
Why'd it tilt you?
Because I actually had a different piece of information that I was going to be like, and like throw it out there a little bit, but the nat 20
Little
was
red
too...
herring.
Yeah, well, no, it was important, but the fucking nat 20 was too good to be like, a little bit of, just a little taste. You remember? Do you remember when Drix left with his party? Do you remember how he left Quarantine?
It wasn't by boat.
It wasn't out the east gate.
Where was it from? Northgate? No.
Across the bridge?
It was by boat.
I thought you said it wasn't by boat. That's why it was so strange that I got a letter from a sailor.
Oh, was it not by... Oh, no, you're right. It wasn't by boat. But it wasn't through Eastgate. So, if he were to come here, he wouldn't have gone east. Because this place is far east, if you look at the map. I'm actually backwards.
That's backwards.
Yeah, I know, right? No boat. But it did come back by boat. That's right.
Are you implying that I got the letter here?
I'm implying
here?
that you didn't get the letter here.
That they're somewhere in the opposite direction with the same claim to fame of always delivers letters?
The advertisement didn't say anything about letters.
Messages, sorry.
Val is going to, Oh, geez. Okay, so let's. Oh,
So,
geez.
yeah, all the points that you have to work with right now is what you have in the letter, the post office here that claims it can get messages long distance, and your brother didn't leave out the east gate or by boat, but the letter came back by boat, and specifically, it came back in a delivery from some privateers.
Which means he had to have gone north. Well, we only have 2 real directions to go from Quarantine. Boat, 3. Boat, east, north. Right?
And can I throw a investigation check to kind of help Val out with this?
Oh, the gears are grinding right now. If you want to help, please, go ahead.
As she's like doing equations in the air in front of her.
Sure. I guess, what are you trying to surmise with the investigation?
Well, she's trying to figure out a direction on a map or
Okay.
point of reference here.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to try an investigation to be like, oh yeah, well there's no way that the brother could be this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Give me the investigation.
8.
Yeah, it's not making a lot of sense, right?
Nope, I can't. She's not telling us everything.
Yeah.
Okay, something that Val has taken a particular interest in that I'd like to abuse at this moment, because I've made a point in mentioning it every time we go places, is the map that she's been drawing. Both the combination of known locations and locations that we are reaching ourselves. I have made a special point to notate that every time we've gone somewhere.
Okay.
That Val has been drawing a map. Would this be geography check? No, we don't have geography in this game. Would geography fall under history?
Survival?
That's really dumb. We don't have geography.
We don't have geography.
Yeah, I guess it falls under history.
Okay.
That's the one that makes sense to me.
Either history or survival. But
yeah, I'm partial to survival.
Wait, what are you looking at specifically?
It depends on what part, because I imagine she's talking about like cities.
Val will ask the party. She'll pull out her map and place it down. And basically, what the map that she's drawn is it's a combination of the map of the known areas that we have. So basically, it's like what we're looking at right now. Because this is what is known to us, and it's also got the village where we encountered the spider, the time fields, etc., in there. So every place that we visited, Val has an approximate drawing on the map of that.
Right, kind of line them up.
She will ask the party at this moment to help her out with this because she's kind of stuck. She realized that her brother did not leave out of the East Gate, and he didn't go by sea. That leaves only one direction for him to have gone. I got the letter from privateers. What's to the north of us?
Hmm.
And I know this doesn't seem relevant to the Agorian mission at all, but I think it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that would be a check to find out.
Well, history, for one thing. If anyone has history and can assist.
Maybe also investigation, considering the context.
You can try, but the DC is going to be pretty high.
We are trying to solve something that probably intentionally has not been told to us.
I'll go ahead with an history roll.
Count me as an assist for this. Sure, your history is better than mine.
So advantage? Is that how?
Oh my god. Just to test what would happen on mine. What would have happened on mine?
Oh, you would have had the 1.
Oh god!
You had to say
Wow.
it was just a
Better than
test.
mine.
Huh.
God! Let me have it. It's a nat 20.
No, you already had yours this turn.
Yeah, it's a test and must be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
No, fuck you. It's a survival check, not a history check.
Yeah, Nihilus doesn't know much about any of this, so he's just
Yeah,
kind of
same.
staying quiet.
I mean, I'll roll it. Why not?
I already rolled it. It won't matter now.
No, I don't know anything.
The waiter kind of comes over and like takes the gold off the table that Dina had put down to pay for the tab and starts picking up dishes.
Hey, chap, what's up north? Points at the map where we're inquiring about.
Kind of looks at the map and he points at Agorian. He goes, "Oh, don't go that way. That's Agorian. No one goes that way."
Could you?
Why not?
Well,
Would you mind pinging where he pointed on the map?
points right here.
Okay.
So our route here was more or less
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
So do we have any idea what's up this way?
Nope.
Val will shake her head and fold up the map, and fold the letter back into the envelope, pocket it again. She says, "Sorry, this was a waste of time."
I don't think so. I mean, could very well be connected. We don't know yet. We have to go to Goria to find out.
Is the
I just
waiter
told
still
you.
here?
I just told
Yeah.
you not to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to ask him what rumors he's heard of Agorian to make him say such a thing.
We've been at war with Agorian for, well, longer than I've been alive. There, not many people come back,
We've always been at war with Agorian.
right? He says, no one goes up the road to Agorian and comes back. It's just how it is. The closest you'll get is some pirates, they'll go raiding up the river.
Up the river?
Oh yeah, pirates
Yeah,
been
Gloria is
controlling
a
the
port
river
city.
for, well, used to be a port city. Not a port city to the inner sea.
Val's going to pull out the map one more time, and her attention is going to focus. Well, she's going to check this area, and she's going to see that it does not connect in any way, shape, or form to Agorian. But she will notate this. She kind of points to that empty spot right there where the road ends and the river begins. Says, what's there?
Kind of looks and says, "Man, it looks blank to me."
Do you think Dina would know about this? Or do you think she'd be willing to tell us?
Probably more than any random passerby.
Well, I'm doing my best.
Certainly.
No, and you've been really helpful, really. Thank you. And she's gonna toss him a gold coin.
He kind of struggles to catch it on one of the plates he's holding.
Anyone got parchment and something to write with?
Always. We are cartographers.
Okay, well, I need like spare parchment. I usually keep like the map around, but
Just right on the back of the map.
no, I have to tear it off.
Actually, I don't have that.
Literally
she
nobody has
stops.
parchment.
I'm pretty sure.
I'd have to tear it off. She's going to actually like kind of cut a piece of the map out around Agorian. She's going to write on the back a letter to Drix. Unless I've misunderstood what that fucking mail service meant.
They send messages. They do not necessarily send letters.
Messages. Long distance messages. What is the implication of that, Leslie?
You can read into that however you want.
Or we could go over there and ask.
Or we could go over there and ask. Before I start tearing up my fucking map that I've worked really hard on, Val will ask you guys to indulge her for just a little while longer. And she's going to make her way over to that mailbox.
Okay. So you head over to the post office?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Give me a perception check when you walk in, though.
Oh, geez, I'm bad at these.
Yeah.
Let's go. Y'all ready for the one?
Here it comes.
Perfectly balanced in all things.
16.
Hey,
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hey.
That's pretty good.
Okay. So when you walk in, there's a decent amount of people here, and it takes a minute for somebody to get freed up to talk to you, but eventually you can make your way to the front counter, and there's a younger gentleman there. Says, "Hello there, you little lady. What can I do you for?"
Well, wondering how this service works exactly. Do I send a letter, or how does it get to the person that you're trying to get the message to?
Oh, well, depends on who it is and where they are and that type of thing, I suppose. For example, if somebody here in town, you can just let us know who it is, where they live. We'll get it over to them straight away. For somebody who lives perhaps in the Undercity, we do have means of getting things there as well. If it is something that's going to somewhere out of city entirely, say Osirian or Absalom. We can get some things to Longacre, though it does take a little while. We even have a station in Malthun. That type of thing is
Real
much
quick.
more limited.
There's a lot of stuff in here that is not on my map. Like, most of what he just said is not on our map.
Mhm.
Guys, I'm gonna cheat! Val's gonna bust out
Val,
the map.
quit copying people's homework.
Shut up, this is good for us! This is really good! You fool! Val's gonna take out the map and kind of point it out, and she'll say, could you go ahead and point those locations out on the map for me, please? It's important to help me find out where I'm sending this message.
He kind of looks down at your map and says, you need a much bigger map, and honestly, the geographical location of these places isn't something I'm too aware of. I just
Damn
know
it!
of the places and that we can get mail there.
She snaps her fingers and says, what if I don't know where the person is?
Oh, well, it'd be real difficult to get the mail there in that case.
So, you're saying I'm shit out of luck?
Roughly, yeah. Um, there's a system to it, you know. If you knew they were in Malthun, right? You know that they're at least just know that they're in Malthun. We can get you a message again, out of city, much more limited. We can get something written up, and then we get it over to our diviner, and our diviner can talk to the Malthun diviner. At that point, we can essentially transcribe the message, and then if it's just in the right city, if the name's unique enough, we can usually find the person. Otherwise, we would have to know a more specific address.
What if I could give you a name? Could you check all the cities?
Be right back a second. Sorry.
Check all the cities. Usually, the receiving city would have to do the checking. I don't have like a list of everyone who lives in Malthun. That's what you're asking.
Right, could you get them to check the city?
If we
I'll
send
pay
them a message,
whatever you need.
If we send them a message, sure. It's no guarantee they'll get it.
Okay, how much is it to send a message to a city?
Altogether, it's about 60 gold. If you're going to send it outside of this city, it's the 50 gold for the expedited processing, essentially. Unless you would just rather us do it by ship, much cheaper that way, and you can also write the letter to any length you'd like.
What do you guys think? Is it worth it to even try? I mean, it's a lot of gold, and I might not even get anything through.
Well, he seemed to think it was worth it to try.
Look, I know that this is a really personal thing, and we're on mission right now, technically. So, if you guys don't think that this is relevant, I can stop this right now.
We could see if anywhere else has a map, has an idea of which city to look for before you go.
So, Val, while you're talking with this guy and talking amongst yourselves, your perception check's going to come into play. You see someone walk out from the back, and he's folding up a note, and he's going to basically file it in like a... They have like a little standing folder, sort of like a taco holder, you know what I mean? But they're just manila folders, and he just slides it into one of the things. The note is the same paper. It's the same folded piece of paper. You know what I mean? It's like if you saw an 8x11 sheet of paper and you saw another 8x11 piece of paper, you know it's the same type of paper.
Let's see. How do I handle this? She's gonna kind of like slam her hand on the counter and point to the guy behind and say, That paper, don't put it away."
He kind of holds it aloft and looks inquisitively.
She pulls out her letter and holds it up. "Where did you get that paper from?"
The gentleman who's been helping you seems kind of taken aback, and he looks to the guy who's filing it. And the guy who's filing it looks to you and says, "I wrote it. It's a transcription."
Okay, my brain is clocking out, guys. Like, he's trying to tell me something. I know he is, but is that the same paper that all the post offices use?
I don't know what the other post offices use. We don't keep in good contact with them, strangely enough. It's not like we don't tell them what paper to use, if that's what you mean. This is the paper we use for transcriptions because it's hardy. We can get it
Can
in
you
bulk.
tell me if this came from your place then?
The guy files the piece of paper and grabs your note. He looks it over. No sender. This is definitely the right type of paper that we use.
It's worn as fuck.
Yeah, he's looking at it. It's all like bent on the corners. He's just like, there's not a whole lot of information here. How old is this?
Year and a half?
Question: do you keep records?
We have some records. What kind of records are you looking for?
Return address, or the name of a sender?
Due to the limitations of the actual mechanism of the messaging, adding a sender would have to be part of the message. So we don't typically document that.
Do you notate client information at the purchase of services?
Well, of course, you have to keep receipts, if only for tax purposes.
Okay, so we've established that taxes exist here.
Down with the system.
He says, we can't exactly inquire the other facilities of their records, though, because if this is our piece of paper, we wouldn't have taken the client information, because we would be the receiver in this case.
It came to me by boat. So I would imagine that because we don't have a post office in our city, it was sent to you guys, and then you sent it by the privateers to us. Does that help in any way, shape, or form?
The guy who came in from the back, he seems a little puzzled. The guy who has been originally helping you, he's got this like this weird look on his face, like he's getting excited by the gossip. Basically, it's like a good mystery now. And he's like, you know, we know if this is ours. She said it's like a year old. If we send it through the privateers, we'd have to have ledgers for that. Like, we have a lot of records for a year ago that we sent to the privateers. That's not that helpful.
I can give you the name.
Well, the name's Val. It's right here.
No, the sender. The name of the sender.
If the name of the sender's not in the message, we wouldn't have it documented. The only people who would have it documented is wherever it came from.
What if it came from here?
Well, it'd be kind of silly for us to send a message to ourselves.
Suppose that's right.
I think what they're saying is...
Oh, you mean if it was just mailed from here?
Yeah.
He looks at the paper, says, no, this was definitely sent over our express package, because... And he kind of points on the paper. This is 25 words.
Did I get a fucking tweet from my brother?
This is the... Usually people don't limit their words like this if they're sending a regular letter. He could have written, you know, a full page.
Question about economics here.
Mhm.
How much is a gold
How much
in
is a gold?
modern currency?
There's an exchange rate for different goods, I'm sure. In other words, if you were to go into whatever, different things cost different amounts depending on the economies. So your question is meaningless. But ask the real question.
Just ballpark for within this industry. How, like,
Within this industry,
$10, $20?
it's probably much more costly to send messages in their system than it is in ours.
So would
Yeah,
you wager that, like, Drix basically sent a $100 message?
More than 100.
They said it was 60 to get it to another city, but of course that's their
60
prices.
gold.
Mhm.
I want to know how expensive this tweet was.
So, if it was sent from here to a different city, it would be 60 gold.
That's a really expensive tweet.
Out of like Pathfinder, I think the exchange rate for most goods was ballpark 1 gold is $20.
Hold on. Are we actually talking about trying to find the cost of a tweet, or are we trying to stay in character?
No,
Oh no,
this
is so far outside of character. This is. I'm just trying to wrap my head around, using that exchange rate, a $1,200 tweet.
What is basically happening is Val has the most expensive letter ever sent in her hand.
What are you talking about? They
filed
a different
this is
one.
common. It's just Twitter is restricted to the
It's not Twitter at that point. It's more
absurdly
like...
wealthy.
Hold on. It's more like when they used to do like telegrams. Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, we're on a good track here. Let's go.
I've lost my train of thought of what this guy was talking about, to be honest with you.
Fucking shit, Nathaniel. He was mentioning that he was getting really into it.
Oh. Yeah. He said, we could, I'm sure for some fee we can look into, do you know what month it was?
Do I know what month it was?
Yeah, I'm sure you do. As much as
Uh,
Val obsesses over it, she probably counts the days.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah,
And I'm sure you could approximate shipping time to go.
Yeah, so
There.
Val will let him know when it was received. He can put a approximation of like a 3-month window. Says I can check last year around this time, and we do know the sources of the message, just not the senders. So if it comes from Malthun, I can let you know it came from Malthun. If it came from Osirian, I can tell you it came from Osirian. That type of thing. Just not who bought the
how
service.
soon can you have it, and how much do you want?
Well, we
Can
may
you have
not.
it to me by tomorrow?
We may not find anything at all. To be fair,
I'll give you 100 gold for an honest attempt.
the two of them look at each other. They kind of look at the other customers. They're like, the guy who came out the back's like, dude, I don't have anything else to do today. Okay, we'll go for it.
50 gold now, 50 gold tomorrow when I come back.
Sure. Can we hold on to the letter?
She looks incredibly reluctant.
Go get it back.
Okay,
We
if it'll
found
help.
out that they're part of the letter of the male mafia.
If it'll help,
Yeah, this is
fine.
the male mafia arc.
But I'll get it back, right?
Oh, of course.
3-chapter arc of Vale trying to get her fucking letter back from the fucking male mafia Don boss.
We come back and the whole post office is just gone.
It's an
It's
ephemeral
like one
post
of those
office.
businesses that pops up to launder money,
Yeah, it's just a pop-up.
is there
post
for like a
office.
month, and then is gone without a trace.
I'll be back tomorrow, okay? I have some business to attend in town. I have a weapon to pick up. After I pick it up, I'll come back here and we can find out and you can tell me what you found.
Sure.
She like kind of reaches her hand out to shake their hand, and there's like a look of genuine gratitude on her face. Like, these people don't know her from Adam's house cat, but like, it's obvious this means something to her.
Yeah, the guy helping you shakes your hand, and he actually passes off the 50 gold to the other guy, and he kind of heads to the back.
She turns to face the party, kind of brushes herself off, and nods and says, "Thank you."
Who's Adam's house cat?
Exactly.
House Cat Adams.
I know
Sorry.
him.
Sorry for taking up so much time. After this, I won't go off mission again. You'll have my full attention, I promise. No more.
Well, maybe it's best that we take our time with a diplomatic mission.
Yeah, but I mean, no more hijinks or portals or curiosities. It's just, I'll do my job.
Okay. So where are you off to next?
How much did I ever get an idea of how much a mag costs?
I think I quoted it last session. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
We
it's
did
like
not have the money for it.
it's like an iPhone. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
the
but
new iPhone comes out.
Yeah, so we can get a payment plan?
I mean, you can, but then you have to go through a financing company.
and then I still have a bag of gems from the spider.
And besides, one of us has already sold our soul. What's another?
Sell your
No.
soul for the new iPhone.
Yeah.
Right. No, I have this in the list, but I don't have it converted to cash, so I don't know if that ever actually got sold.
I don't think it did, because I don't think you can just sell gems to people.
Yeah,
At
I think that
least
was
you
the
don't
issue.
know anyone to sell gems to.
Okay.
And is at least one of those gems worth 100 gold? Did we make an appraise for that?
I don't think you ever appraised them.
We can
Is
just
that a
take
thing
them
that we
down
can
to the
do?
gymnasium.
What
I don't think
what
appraise is a
check
skill
is
anymore.
that?
Yeah.
Investigation? No, insight is effectively sense motive.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be
Perception?
wise to
I
know
think
how
it's-
much something costs.
I mean, if you can, you know, rule it or explain it to me in a way that makes sense, I can justify most skills for most things. But like,
Investigation, so comparing to market prices? Like, might involve, browsing a store to see what their
yeah, because you
gemstones.
have to like gauge current market prices in whatever economy you're in as well.
Right.
So
Could
like,
we
I
have
feel like
Vitali make
yeah.
a wisdom insight check?
I'd say if he could find a gem store, he could probably make a wisdom insight check.
And otherwise,
Otherwise, it would probably be like intelligence investigation, but you're looking at
Can
different
throw one of
DCs.
those. We wanna.
right,
I'll
I've
throw a
got
gem check.
I'll do an investigation. What's a gem store?
What's a
A
gem
jewelry store? Who needs those?
Gem store? What about a Pam store?
I guess I can contribute a little and do an investigation too.
Hey guys, you should go meet with the
What's a gem store?
I thought it was pronounced gymnasium.
No, Gymboree.
Who's
Oh,
Jim?
okay. Yeah, Jim's store.
Jambalaya.
Please let me find a store called Jim's Gyms. I will. You know what? I could get a 20. Let's see.
No, you're gonna roll bad, and then we're gonna find Jam's Gyms.
Just gonna
And that's gonna
average
be
out these
difficult to-
numbers.
Jim's Jams.
Yeah, collectively, you guys think these gyms probably aren't worth a whole lot.
I'm sorry. Gems are a subset of rocks.
Yeah, those are the things that go on the bottom of aquariums, right?
What do you want from me?
It's usually intelligence investigation.
Let's see.
Alternatively, we could just go somewhere where they handle gemstones
Right? And they can get
and
them
then
appraised by
ask
someone,
for an appraisal
right?
and then judge them harshly.
These are not interesting rocks. These are normal gems. Val doesn't care.
Oh, let's find a gem store.
Show me some spicy rocks, then I'll pay attention.
Jim's
Jim's
Gyms.
Jams.
Oh no, it's competing businesses.
For music and fruit preserves.
Combination music and fruit preserves store.
It's a very niche store.
So wait, what's going on here? You guys are looking for a gem store now?
It's a guy that owns a music store, and his wife has a hobby with mason jars.
Follow your dream, Jim's wife.
Jim's Jams, and also jams.
I guess who's gonna lead the charge in looking for a gem store?
I'll ask around.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Maybe I shouldn't ask around. I will get by on my
I can
folk
a-
hero.
I can ask around. It's okay.
No, I'll ask around.
No, we'll ask around.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
we'll
We'll
ask
ask
around.
around. Nope. Well, I helped.
Good enough. It'll do. So I'll greet the closest comrade and be like, "Greetings, Tavarish. Where can where can I return the gems to our great state and countrymen?"
Wow. What's the right way for this?
Just ask anyone if there's any jewelry stores around.
So basically, when you walk up with a bag full of gems.
Whoa, I'm not. Hold on. No. Nope.
Oh, they're staying contained until we
Okay.
find a shop.
Yeah, I'm not just walking around being like, "Who wants these?"
So okay.
Oh, there's this gem store down this dark alley.
Yeah,
Here, I'll show
exactly.
you the way.
Yeah. So you walk up, with your comrade nonsense, and when you ask them where a gem store is, they get very
A jewelry store.
a jewelry store. They get very suspicious of you, and they effectively they call you a cut purse, and then they mumble something along the lines of undercity scum as they walk away.
Okay. I'll walk back to the group and be like, "Guys, are we Undercity scum?"
No, not us. We're
I'm starting to
heroes.
think we might be.
And it's like mid-afternoon, and there's one thing that's very striking at this time, and it you imagine it just gets more striking as the day goes on. It's it's still pretty late in the year, so it starts getting dark earlier. But you notice it's not really getting darker here. Instead, it seems to keep roughly the same light level, except while the sun is setting, in the middle of the city, there is like a beam of light that is shooting up into the sky, and it keeps the sky blue. You guys had seen this on the way to the city.
Very strange.
Yeah, I cannot stress enough. It's very beam. Like, it's a thick beam.
Something about that beam, though. Guys, can we go to the beam?
Probably should, right? It's awfully enticing.
The beam draws us.
Lamp. We are but moths to the beam.
Yes, we all forget about being Undercity scum immediately.
We must go to the light. The party just like their eyes glaze over and they just start walking towards the beam. Val walks into a lamppost.
But yeah, seriously, guys, though, I'm a little bit worried. These guys might not like us so much.
As a side note, there aren't really lampposts.
What am I gonna bump into?
I don't know.
A person.
They don't. You realize now they don't really have a need for lampposts. Doesn't get dark.
Fucking beam.
How convenient.
It's terrible, by the way. That's horrible.
How convenient.
Convenient.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Good night, folks.
Yep.
We're done here.
I'm sure if you guys get thirsty on the way, there's a convenience store.
Listen. Die.
So, what are you guys doing?
Well, now we're going to the beam.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be
I
the
didn't-
case.
I didn't know if you guys were beam memeing.
We don't meme about the beam.
So
Look, as long as I get my sword tomorrow.
it is literally towards the center of town, which is up, by the way. Again, tiered city. And though the buildings are like 4 or 5 stories tall in some places, they never crest the like ground level of the next tier up.
You can go, if you jumped far enough, you could go from ground level to the roof of the
Mhm.
next level below.
Yes. And there's like a main like street. Street's not quite the right word because it's more of a staircase. That leads all the way up to the top tier. Like you wouldn't take a carriage up it, right? Not even the motorized ones they have here. And as you guys make your way to the top level, there is like, I don't know, like a small town of like very large immaculate buildings, and in the center is like a huge like a, not a castle I guess, but like a, it looks like some sort of enormous religious building with a tower in the middle, and from the top of the tower the beam is just going. And it's just a radiant white beam. And you see like there are some people kind of like coming and going from all these different buildings. There are a few that are going through like this main double door section, but it's like the double doors are like 40 feet tall and they're very stylized, and there's a warm light coming from the inside of the building as people are just kind of like casually walking about. And the people in this area, they look like wealthy, what's the word I want to look for here? They're not just wealthy, right? They're wealthy and of high status religious people. You know what I mean? They look like wealthy clergymen or something.
Heresies.
Yeah, something like that.
Clerics of Abadar. Abadar? Is that the currency god?
That's the one.
Vitaly's like,
It does Vitaly. What background does Vitaly have?
With deities?
Hmm?
With deities?
No. What
You just-
background did you pick?
you just use the
Oh.
default background, the one with the hills.
Background? God
I
damn.
used folk hero.
Are you an acolyte? Considering you are a
yeah,
man of the
background
cloth.
Acolyte. That's right, Acolyte. Yeah, I see.
Meaning you can just walk up to people, or rather, worshippers of Abadar, and mingle.
I mean, maybe? The last mingling, I thought I did pretty good, but they didn't like me, so who knows?
They weren't
Yes,
religious
these people.
people.
Look, I feel like we're kind of forcing things a little bit here, guys.
Go on, cleric, be religious.
Yeah, go on, pal. They
Time
look
for you-
strong.
What'd you just say? It's time for you to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, put your money where your faith is.
Yeah, okay, now I can get behind it.
Put your faith where your money is.
Yeah, greetings, fellow clerics.
Greetings.
Great. Time for the Church of the Corpus.
God damn. Greetings, fellow money clerics. That's it, I'm sold. That's it. That's what I
Good
said.
finances be with you.
No. Greetings.
May your
Greetings,
checkbooks be
fellow
ever
currency
balanced.
cleric.
So, what do you do?
May you always be in the black.
Ooh. Did you really just say greetings, fellow money clerics?
Currency cleric.
Have you heard of blockchains?
Is that actually what you did? Just picked a random guy and walked up and said, "Greetings, fellow money cleric or fellow."
I mean,
currency
like,
cleric?"
what are they doing? Like, what's going
Just
on?
walking about. They have stuff to do, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
What do you
if
think they're doing?
just...
Painting? Knitting
I don't know.
sweaters?
You tell me.
Are you gonna investigate? Are you gonna follow one down an alleyway and?
I don't know.
Give me your tithe money, kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
currently they look like they're walking over here.
Okay, so, I mean, I want to look like I belong a little bit, so what are they doing? Want to blend in.
I mean, the ones who are outside are just walking from place to place. They're not holding a
Okay.
convention.
Well, but before we do this, maybe I zoned out for a second. Why are we doing this?
It's a
What-
chance for
what
him
part?
to interact with his people.
Wait,
Okay.
which part are you asking about?
They're handsome and he's shy.
I'm just trying to figure out the scene. Like, what? Why am I going up to these people?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking too.
I mean, are we still trying to find someone to appraise our gems?
No, we got distracted with the light.
We're walking into the light.
Absolutely. And while we were there, we encountered a group of a group of money clerics, similar to our own.
And then
And we confirmed these people actually look like they worship Abadar, or they're just cleric looking.
I mean, they look like they're people of the cloth, and they are well off. You can infer what you will.
do they have any
What-
religious symbols on them?
None that seem
Val's gonna-
overt.
Val's gonna kind of like.
They're not
put her
the
hand-
2 Chainz of Abadar, if that's what you're wondering. They're not
What
like
color
Flavor
is the
Flav.
cloth?
Val's gonna kind of like put her hand on Vitali's shoulder and shake her head, and she's gonna kind of like look him up and down and say, "This isn't how you want to introduce yourself, bud."
I know.
That's I know. And she'll kind of like guide him away and be like, "Don't worry, we'll get you some better clothes, and you know you can hang out with the cool clerics and be one of the cool kids."
It's a lot
I'm gonna
of
look.
reds and browns, but gilded with gold.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna look back to the people who were pushing me towards them and shrug, and then look back to Val and say, "You're right, Val." How silly
like-
of me.
she nods and says, "I know that was hard for you to admit, but I'm doing this for your own good, bud."
I'm so glad you're here, Val.
Look, I don't think these are your types of clerics. They look like the kind to, well, not spread the wealth.
Yeah, they seem like greedy clerics.
Could you repeat that, please?
Look around. Are any of them close?
No, they're all a good.
No, I
He
was asking
called
out of
the
character,
clerics
like-
greedy.
Oh, I mean, probably. I mean, it's Abadar stuff, dude. Come on. We have a light to investigate.
Alright, so what are they actually doing about this place?
What do you mean?
They going into buildings?
Yeah.
Are they hanging out?
Oh
They're
my
mostly
God,
going.
honest.
That's
in
pretty
buildings.
They are
suspicious.
just people
Yeah.
doing people
Yeah.
things.
Alright,
like if
they're
you- if you- hold on.
NPCs who randomly
Okay,
walk in
again.
directions.
No. Imagine you're at the mall, and you're like not in the mall, but like at the mall where like the restaurants and stuff are. You know, people walk from place to place. That's what you're seeing.
Alright, okay.
So,
Yeah.
if you would like to see what they do once they enter a place,
What about
You'll
those
have to go
places? Do
in
any of
those
those
places.
places look important?
yeah, one of them has a giant beam coming out of the top of it.
Oh shit, we're going in there anyway. Fuck.
Now, about that place, is there like a door to go in it?
There's
Is there a
two
guard at the door?
giant double doors that are about 40 feet tall. They come to a point at the top, and the doors are wide open. There's a warm light coming from inside the building, as opposed to the much cooler light of the pure white radiant light from the beam.
People are like just walking in and out casually.
Yeah.
Do we want to go in, guys?
Val shrugs. She says, "We got time to kill."
Doesn't look like it's
Yeah.
guarded or anything.
Like, let's
No.
be honest, guys. This is pretty much the last vacation we're gonna get before we start walking.
But don't we have a
So what
meeting
are
of
the-
diplomacy to get to?
Well, we're in.
What are
town
the
for
odds
day.
that we're showing up early to that meeting?
We're in town for the day anyway. Remember, Dina's getting us place of lodging. We're here.
That's true. But don't we
And-
need to find a merchant to deal with these gemstones?
It's not pressing. I was just asking.
I mean, look, if you don't want to go in, then if you don't want to do this, then we can do something else. It's fine. I mean, you
Eh.
kind of took a pretty big hit for the team there. And for the team, I mean me. So, you know, whatever you want to do is good by me.
I think we're just trying to figure out like what we're doing here besides just like
Hanging out, exploring the town.
okay.
So
Check
one
out
of the
beam.
We could also, like,
Beemu.
you know, just call it a night and skip and go to tomorrow and wrap up the plot threads and leave.
so there's a younger lady walks out and looks in your direction and kind of walks over with purpose.
Leslie, real quick, out of
Mhm.
character. I'd like to have an actual in-table discussion about this.
Yeah.
Is this something that we would like to pursue, or would we like to move on with the story and go forward? Because there's a lot of in-character stuff
Well,
and a lot of not hitty, smashy, slashy stuff.
The beam looks important.
The beam sounds important.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
So the lady walks over.
Okay.
She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Lilith isn't taking petitions from the public at the moment."
I'm sorry, did she just say Lilith?
As in the person we have a meeting with.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know where to go.
This person looks pretty official, I assume.
Yeah, she
So,
looks like if give me a insight, Vitaly.
Lots of browns and reds and golds.
Wow.
I was under a
Actu-
horrible misunderstanding.
Yeah, you get the feeling that this person is like she's important, but she's not. She doesn't. She's more important than most people who come through this building, probably. But like, as far as the people who work here, she's not that important. You know what I mean? She's like,
Middle manager tier.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Alright.
Project manager.
Not a problem. I'll give her a little bow and say our apologies. Would we be able to set up a meeting with her at some point?
Are we supposed
Um,
to flash our badge?
The public can hold meetings again midday tomorrow, I'm sure.
Nihilus will show the badge Dina gave us.
That's just your cartographer
Our
pin.
maps.
Yeah. Like, we really need to speak with Lilith when she can take us.
Oh, you all are the ambassadors from Quarantine.
Yes, our apologies for not properly introducing ourselves.
Oh no, apologies of my own. Please follow me. I'll lead you to the liaison that will actually bring you to the quarters to speak. And she kind of starts walking back towards the double doors, and she kind of moves a little quick, but it's not hard to keep up with her. It's just she's walking faster than most people's walking speed, and she kind of leads you guys in. And as you walk through the doors, there's like a chandelier that comes down from the ceiling. The ceiling's probably a good 80 feet. Warm light bathes the entire interior of this place. There are a lot of serpentine motifs, and she kind of walks up to like a front desk, and it's like the whole front desk actually wraps around from a wall, so it's not like a movable desk, and it looks to be made of some sort of redwood. It's very in keeping with a lot of the color schematics of this place. And she kind of grabs somebody who's walking by and says, "Go get Dre," and she shoos them away. He'll be right down. And then she kind of sits back at her little desk, and off to one side of the room, there's actually a staircase, and it's an incredibly wide staircase. Like, you think the staircase could probably, again, were you to actually be able to drag a cart up or down a staircase, you could probably put 2 lanes, basically. Like, you could have a cart going each direction easily.
Big staircase.
Yeah. And just looking at the, like, where it's at, it kind of juts out on one side. And as you're looking around, it's obvious that the middle of this building is the base of the tower above. And after a while, a rather tall man comes down and he says, "You all the ambassadors?
Yes, sir.
Follow me." And this guy is a little weird looking, and he's kind of short.
Rude.
Yeah, he's a little rude. He's a little weird looking. He's got a lot of facial hair, and he begins again walking with purpose up the staircases. And he says, "Please hold all questions till the end. I'm going to go over some ground rules." And he's kind of like step, 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 step. He's taking 2 steps at a time. And he starts going over things. He's just like, don't make any direct eye contact unless it is completely necessary. Only speak when spoken to. Do not get too caught up in her radiance. And he's just kind of like listing off like bit after bit. And as you guys go up the staircase, it seems like the staircase wraps around the main structure, and then it leads into like a big opening, almost like a ballroom-esque room. It's very, very large, another very high vaulted ceiling, probably about 80 feet or so, and it goes across the room, straight across, into another staircase, all the way up and around again. It's like, make sure to show respect. Again, keep any snide comments to yourselves. Don't even think anything uncouth in her presence. It says, what's the last one? It's like, do not stare. And then he's kind of leading you guys up, and there's another precipice where it cuts back into the main building. And he says, with that, waiting here, she will meet you. And then, before you're able to actually ask any questions, he literally, like, anime disappears. Like, the little, like, instant transmission, there's a sound effect and everything.
I want to learn how to do that.
And you guys are, like, just standing in a room, and all the way across from you is another staircase, right? Same staircase. You imagine it wraps up and around. And you know you must be pretty close to the top of the tower at this point, because you can kind of see more light up the staircase there. And the actual ground under you, like the floor, begins to rumble gently, and it sounds almost like rushing water is coming down the other staircase, and there's just a light that's getting brighter.
Did he mean for us to meet with her now?
Did we mean to meet with her now?
Too late for that now.
And for a moment, there is a blinding light in the room where
Oh no.
you just have to avert your eyes.
Is Nick.
And you hear in your minds A feminine voice comes through. Says, "Welcome, ambassadors. What brings you to my humble city?"
Seeing her, Nihilus will quickly bow his head to avoid gazing and state, "We have come to ask for safe passage through West Crown as we make our way to Agoria. We are trying to deal with a shared enemy between our homes."
The tongue kind of flicks out. You can feel like a judgment that just radiates from this enormous creature. Quarantine is a what's the word she would use? Hold on. Give me a second. Quarantine is a just city. I have no qualms with cooperating, but I would be remiss if I wasn't to use this opportunity to solve issues of my own with resources that are presented to me.
What issues do you need us to solve, my lady?
I fear there's corruption in my city. My people are suffering in places that I cannot reach. And if you were to assist in rooting out this corruption, it would do a great service towards proving your good intentions with passing through our lands.
I cannot promise that we will find it or find it quickly, but we will do our utmost best to serve you, my lady.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, everyone can feel the weight of the words when she says, I hope that you're able to prove your good intentions. And though not stressed in the vernacular, the word good, it hits Nihilus like a sack of potatoes. And then she slowly rescinds herself. She kind of just loops around, ducks her head, and then proceeds up the staircase. The very tall and rude individual kind of anime reappears. But he appears like on the far side in front of the staircase and just stands there, arms crossed. And all you can see from this distance, because you can't really see the facial features, especially because he has so much light to his back, is his eyes actually reflect a red light. So it looks like his eyes are glowing red. But it's like
Creepy.
it's like an animalistic, like when you see like an animal in the dark. It's that same thing.
Okay. I guess we need to go to him.
You just hear it echo from all the way across. You can leave now.
And Alice will start trying to leave with the group.
I'll tell Val, hey, we can leave now.
We should leave now.
You know?
Val is like already walking out.
Likewise.
Yep. Let's skedaddle.
Okay.
Seems we should go.
You guys proceed down the couple flights of stairs. What's next on the agenda?
Is that you asking what we're doing next?
Yeah.
Or is that him asking?
No, that's me. He
guess
doesn't.
we need to-
He doesn't follow. He sits there being a edgy bouncer.
My guess is we need to find Dina and inform her of our meeting.
Okay. I mean, she'll probably
Uh,
just be at the restaurant where she said she'd meet you.
All right. Before we leave, the nice lady, is she still about?
Oh, the receptionist? Yeah, she's still
Yeah.
down there.
I'm gonna ask her if she can let me know if there's a jewelry store around here.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a jewelry store on the top tier. There's not that many buildings either, so she'll let you know where it's at. It's basically, it's going to be in a shared building. It's not like the whole building's a jewelry store.
It's strip mall.
Not a strip mall. Definitely not that.
Yeah, just shared
Shopping
office.
center?
Yeah, it's more like a shopping center. It's like a small mall. You have to walk
Yeah.
in, and then there's stores inside.
An
It's a
arcade.
counter. It's a counter in one of the stores.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, it's an
let's-
actual store. You walk in the building, and then you walk through a door into a room, which is the store.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll thank her and let's go sell our crap before we head back to Dina.
Okay. So are you just gonna go in and have the people appraise it?
Yeah. We'll drop our sack of aquarium rocks on the counter and get them to appraise them.
It takes probably 5-10 minutes of. He doesn't check every gym. It's like a little gnome guy, and he's like, he looks at one gym and he kind of like drops it with a bit of disdain on the table. He picks up another one and he looks it over. He's got his little like gym monocle, little appraiser's lens. Looks at another one, he kind of just drops it. Every time he drops one on the table off to the side, it's just like he's dropping a used napkin. Eventually, he gets to like the fourth one, and he's like, 200 gold for the whole bag.
Is he lying? Insight?
Not really. You feel like this guy's standards might be a bit high, but he's giving you,
Somewhat reasonable price.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a fair deal because he's obviously thinking about markup.
He's gonna make
What?
some money on this, of course.
Right, but is it the best price you could get? Who knows, right? Because like I said, this guy, when you look at the jewelry in this place, the gems in the jewelry in this place are worth more than probably this whole bag. Like one piece of jewelry has a gem.
Yeah, right. Okay, so if it's not a terrible price, then
Val is incredibly intrigued by these rocks. Tell
Rock
me
checks.
about them.
they're not rocks, they're minerals.
She like leans over like to the glass and like she mouths, "Tell me your secrets."
Please
As her
don't.
eyes go wide, she gazes into the gemstones.
Don't
What do
lean
the
on the
rocks tell
glass.
her?
Val,
She's not
don't lean
leaning.
on the glass.
She's being very careful to not lean. What do the rocks tell her?
My goals are beyond your understanding.
No. She understands the rocks.
Do she?
I don't know. I rolled a fucking 17.
Stone speech.
Well, yeah, you need an insight check as well.
Leslie, what do the rocks tell her?
What could the rocks tell her?
Where are these rocks from? How good are these rocks? Like, I mean, like,
Oh, that's like the actual gems in the jewelry?
yeah.
Dude, they're flawless. Like, flawless.
She kind of like puts her hand on the gym bag and says, "We should not insult these people."
Val,
He's over there counting out the
I
gold
think-
pieces and he stops for a second.
Val, hold on. I think someone, your,
Vitaly. And she
not
kind of like
Nihilus
she
didn't
brings you
want to
over
speak to
and
you outside.
indicates the rocks.
He's already
Take
like
a-
mildly annoyed that he's counting out gold pieces because you guys can't accept credits.
Val, please go, somebody please take Val
Vitaly,
so I can finish
you not
making this deal with
seen
this man.
the work in this place.
Val, hush.
Are we really going to offer up subpar gemstones to these people?
Yes, and they've been very polite to give us this fantastic deal. Thank you so much. We'll take our gold and go.
Yeah. Vitaly just scoops the gold off the table.
She looks over to the man that just gave us the gold and she shakes her head and says, "I'm sorry about this."
The
Vitaly's
little-
gonna sit there cursing under his breath that he couldn't haggle with this person after that. Ooh. Ooh.
Never bring Val into a jewelry store.
the rocks, they're perfect.
Did Val lick one of the rocks on display?
No, she did not do that. She knows better than to touch them. She'll exhibit self-control in very certain things, and rocks is one of them.
But geologists lick rocks.
She's not gonna lick the fucking rocks. Those
Go
aren't
to
her rocks to lick.
Go to the jewelry store. It's mine. I licked
I
it.
licked it. Just rubbing your tongue out. No, but she looks at the man, shakes her head. "I'm so sorry about this."
V's actively dragging her out. Thank you.
The little
Attempting
man-
to drag her
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, the little gnome guy actually has someone else pick up the gems.
Vitaly, you weren't going to haggle with him. You know that, right? You're lucky you got that.
I know, especially with you.
If anything, having someone around that understood what those things were worth probably improved his opinion of us.
This has to be the running joke for the rest of the game. Vitaly goes to barter, and Val's like, "We're selling that garbage?
Right.
That
Only if it's
useless-
gems.
That useless
Plus 5
trash?
longsword.
Yeah.
That garbage.
Useless trash? Somebody's willing to give us money for that?
Also, if you had let me do a thing, we could have worked like some fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Camaraderie with the guy.
There
Please
would be no camaraderie here,
Exception.
Val. Val, okay, look. Think of it as a fight, right? Think of it as a fight.
Val
you're trying to
still have... Oh no, that's right. Carry on.
Why are you trying to relate this to a fight? It was haggling.
Making a deal is much like a fight, Val. There's
No, it's
always going to be a winner and a loser.
No, that's wow. Okay. Anyway,
No, Val, here, listen to me. Listen to me. The strongest one gets the most money.
yeah.
Are you
And he
following
was
me
stronger
here,
than you.
Val? Val, what I'm saying here is you were the weak one.
Okay, Vitaly.
Yeah, Val, go ahead and show him weak.
Yeah.
Sitting here like, is Vitaly trying to say to mug this guy?
Is Vitaly trying to get me to mug him?
It sounds like, right?
Hits Vitaly. Vitaly redirects damage
She-
back to Val.
She like.
Val redirects damage back to Vitaly.
Did you just call me weak?
Oh
I'm
no,
saying,
we're
I'm
playing
saying you need
Magic.
to work out. You need to work out. You're haggling.
He says
us.
you need to work out more.
Yeah.
She nods and like looks over to Sophia. I think that's exactly what he's saying.
And it starts with proper form. Proper form is not insulting what we are selling the person.
Vitaly. She kind of leans in. She's kind of like down her tiptoes because she's a fucking short person. Sleep with one eye open tonight.
All right, Val. Okay.
I'll sleep with one eye open. For money.
Anyway, let's go to bed and
Actually,
move
yes.
on so that we can complete
I'll
something.
sleep with one eye open, Val. For money.
Close her eyes. Let's just go to bed,
Val
guys.
pulls out her coin purse. She's like,
Yeah, boy.
So anyway, shall we move on and pass time?
So you guys will meet. You guys can meet Dina back at the restaurant that you guys are eating at for lunch. It's getting pretty late at this point. The sun has rescinded over the horizon, yet it's still blue skies. It's still really loud. It's still bustling. People are still going about normal daily activities, even though there's no sun in the sky right now. When you guys meet back with Dina, she lets you guys know that she's been able to acquire a set of accommodations, but there might be a problem. She says, while I was able to acquire actually a choice of accommodations, the one that I believe is actually most suited to us is in a bit of a seedier area.
Go on.
The issue here is that I could acquire accommodations not too far from here, but Westground is called the city that never sleeps, and it's because it doesn't. It's loud and bright at all hours, and for most, well, for many, the way they get around this is with their magical buddies. They can exude darkness and silence for the times that they would sleep. But I don't have those means, and I know none of you do either. So we can either try to sleep in...
well, hold on now, Dina. I believe I can handle that.
She's, looks to Vitali. You have a source of darkness and silence?
Yes. Well, not in so many words. I can reduce your ability to perceive sound and light.
I'm gonna just go ahead and pass on that one.
And you can accomplish this for the 8 hours required by the...
You'll have to handle it a few minutes at a time, but...
Dana looks to the rest of you to see if this is cool with you guys. getting a few minutes of sleep
So
at a time.
we're simply not acknowledging V at all through this, right? We're just collectively ignoring his explanation.
Our vision. Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not gonna be a lot of sleep. Probably be a little uncomfortable.
Well, essentially our choices are a nicer set of accommodations in a bright, noisy location, or a much less nice set of accommodations in a quieter, darker location.
We can set up an alarm. We'll be fine in a quieter location.
Well, honestly, the much seedier area probably works out with the task we've been given.
Oh, I forgot to ask, how did it go?
Well, fine. We've been tasked with rooting out the corruption of the city in
Oh.
order to get safe passage.
Because that's something we can handle in a weekend.
She kind of, she says, tell you what, before I get the details, because I do need to chronicle them, let's make our way. We'll bed down, and then I'll get the full report.
Okay.
And she kind of starts walking. At some point during the walk, you guys actually start heading more southward from the restaurant, more towards the docks, actually. She does kind of get closer to Nihilus without making it too obvious. And she says, I regret to tell you, Nihilus, that I haven't been particularly successful in finding any aid for your particular ailment.
I'll be fine until I die.
And she continues to lead you guys, and it's a downward path that you end up taking at the end. Because remember, because it's a tiered city, the bottom tier is not actually like ground level. You have to go up before you hit any real buildings. But when you guys go down to the bottom of the staircase that leads to the docks, she actually turns and you guys enter beneath what is the first rung of the city. And from the underneath, there's like a dull blue, almost like a chandelier, but just one single blue light from what seems to be directly underneath where the beam is, hanging from what looks to be like the inverse of that building. And it's just looks like a regular city, and the rungs of the city upward are almost like a night sky, where there are little flecks of light, and when you look closely, there are actually workers that are holding some small light sources that are moving about pathways against the top of the ceiling. She says, this is the Undercity. We have a room in an inn not too far from here. And
So this is what they meant by the Undercity.
Yeah, and as she's leading you through the streets, there are layabouts everywhere, like bums, beggars, like there's a lot of people that are just sleeping in tents in the streets. And there are like a lot of dark alleyways that do not look like you should be going through. Like, you look down an alleyway and there's like shadows shifting in the alleyways. And there's some people who are just standing underneath lampposts, because there are actually lampposts down here that also have a smaller blue radiating light. And they're just standing under lampposts, just casually, like, flippantly, playfully wielding weapons. And one thing you notice about the Undercity is that you don't see any guards at all. Like, in the city proper, you guys saw guards kind of just patrolling or, directing traffic in some cases. But you don't see any down here. She eventually gets you guys to the inn. And it's the Dusklight Inn. And she kind of gets you guys the rooms. The inn, by the way, is not a multi-floored inn at all. It's actually like off the main road. The rooms make a sort of U shape with the check-in in the middle. And you guys all have one room, which on the inside doesn't actually have any real furnishings. It's just a room with a window. But she begins to unpack and get out her bedroll and things, and so, how did it all go?
It went well. We were tasked with rooting out the corruption of this city by her ladyship.
That's awfully vague.
Didn't you warn us about the giant snake?
She kind of looks to Val and says, "Is that not something commonly known?"
No, not really.
Yes, Lilith is an avatar.
An avatar of?
It's avatar of Selket. She, at least as far as the history of this city is concerned, what's written, she showed up sometime around the same time that the portals did, when rifts started becoming more common. She acts as a stabilizing force for this place.
I see. And that's not suspicious.
Why would that be suspicious? An
I
extraplanar
don't-
creature shows up after the rifts open? It's usually
Okay.
how it goes.
Look, I know this is coming from experience here, very, very recent experience. She kind of looks at everyone, waves her hands. Very recent experience. You were all there. It happened. Okay? Didn't we just find out that, things from the rift are typically what's the word I'm looking for?
Dangerous?
She kind of points to Sophia. Anyone else got any other adjectives? We got suspicious, dangerous, untrustworthy.
I can
I
tell.
gave you all of my adjectives before when you guys ignored all of them, so I'm fresh out.
I'm just saying that. Okay, look. If we're gonna get mad at me for expressing interest in riffs, totally understandable. By the way, learned my lesson, but
I
Why
don't
are we
know
not
about
worried
that.
about that?
Not all of the things that come through rifts are dangerous.
I can definitely tell that she is a force for good.
Even in our own history, the angel Balthiel helped Quarantine set down roots.
Okay, so she's a force for good. That's cool. But... And I understand this may be a bit of a controversial take, Dina. Who's good?
I'm sorry?
I mean, okay, look. Before I commit to this, when
Val hitting her with the, what is good?
when Lilith asked us to prove our good, was it evident that she was directing that towards Nihilus?
Oh, it's heavily implied. It didn't hit like it hit Nihilus, but
But we could tell.
yeah, you could tell that. And give me, you know what? Give me an insight, actually.
Was Nihilus physically winded by that one?
Yes.
Okay, insight.
Yeah,
So a wisdom check.
yeah, it's a wisdom insight check.
Okay. In that case, it's just gonna be a flat +1. Great. Nope.
Eh. You feel like she might have been pointing this at Nihilus.
Even with even with the fucking 3, it was definitely Nihilist. Wow. So it's that fucking evident that like even an idiot could tell.
I mean, the one who sold his soul was the face for that conversation.
Okay. Then Val will continue. I mean, okay, look, I get it. Nihilus made a deal, okay, but it was done with good intentions, really good intentions. And honestly, if he hadn't done it, it would have been me. That doesn't make him bad. I don't know,
Well-
Nihilus. Do you suddenly feel the need to do nefarious things, to screw people over,
That's
to try
not
and...
where I was going. I doubt she's a clairvoyant. And I doubt she cares what the means were. Fact is, I sold my soul for reasons.
Yeah, but those reasons matter. We can't just look at things black and white like that.
Well, in the Witch Hunters, we are specifically trained to look out for people like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got to drop off. Just of note, before we sleep, I'm casting alarm.
Okay,
Audible.
that's okay. We'll probably end in a second here anyway. If you want to stick for like about a minute or so.
Okay.
She says, it is likely that she doesn't know exactly why, but she kind of turns to Nihilus. You do radiate an aura now. It's anyone with the means to check these things.
I have no doubt.
At the very least, it would point to a bit of a compromised decision making. Not to say you make bad decisions, just that some of your decisions could be compromised at this point.
That's what we're taught to look out for. Someone impulsive enough to make a deal with a devil may not be the most reliable.
Worse than that, after you make such a deal, some of the decisions may not be your own.
That's why I'm going to say this now. If I ever proceed to go against this, something that does not seem to be of my choosing, kill me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say a hard no to that one, champ.
Oof, a dour note. Well. Oh. And, while you were there, larger gentleman, a lot of facial hair, uncouth,
Kind of a dick.
yes. How is Draymond?
Kind of a
I'm-
dick.
And that's where we'll end it tonight.
I see what you did there.